Okay everybody, so welcome back to part 2 of my Elvis collection videos. And if you got this far, very good, because I know I do talk on a bit too much, but I've kind of been pretty good with this one. So we started off from like the first album for the 50s up to 66 with the Spin Out soundtrack. Now we're going to continue on into the later years with this one to start with, How Great Thou Art, great record. This one's a 1967 original pressing in stereo on the Red Spot label, so yeah, really good to have that. Really like the title track, Somebody Bigger Than You and I, Stand By Me, Run On's a great one, Where I Could Go To But the Lord, Crying in the Chapel, and Where No One Stands Alone. So really great album. And I've heard somewhere that even though Crying in the Chapel was like a 2-year-old single, they put it on this album to sort of kind of get the sales up a bit. So yeah, really great album. Really great record, and again, love that cover as well, with like the church in the background and the picture of Elvis at the front of it. So yeah, very, very nice. Original copy on the Red Spot label. Then we have Clambake. Clambake, I've heard, is one of his worst films, but again, not seen it, so I can't personally comment. Any ones I know on here? Apart from Guitar Man and Big Boss Man and Singing Tree, which was on a box set. But one I need to pull out and listen to, then I'll be the judge of it, you know. But this was 1967 originally. Then we have Elvis's Golden Records Volume 4, 1968. Again, all great songs, but again, this one has kind of like songs that weren't. These were kind of like album fillers and kind of soundtrack songs in some cases. I'll look at the track listing, and you can see some of these were like B-side songs and single tracks. So yeah, but at least they put them on an album here for us to enjoy. And yeah, good album. Again, 1980s Silver and Black RCA International label, but good to find. Again, love that cover. Love that cover. Still need to find Golden Records Volume 5, but that's a very difficult one to get hold of, but I will hopefully get it eventually. Speedway, the last soundtrack album. I know a lot of soundtrack albums have come out, but as EPs, and some have been kind of scattered around on various compilations in the last few films, I know in this case. No Western Union, because that was on like the Lost on the For the Asking album in 1990, which was like the songs that Elvis was going to release as an album back in '63. That didn't happen. This one is on the Orange small label in stereo. I've heard some mixed things about that one, but should hopefully be okay. And then of course you get this, the TV special album, or the Comeback Special soundtrack album. Great performances on here. You know, this was kind of like Elvis had kind of lost his way in the mid-60s with all the films that he was appearing in, and he just kind of lost the motivation. But the Comeback Special, when you watch that special, it's kind of like, you know, a man who's kind of finding his own way home. You know, he's discovering the great artist that he was, and he's kind of, you know, he looked as if he was having the time of his life on that special, and he did. I definitely enjoy it, and yeah, that's a great cover. Elvis premiered 2 new songs for this project, which are If I Can Dream and Memories, both great songs. And the songs he does are kind of all the 50s, even does a medley of all the 50s and all the big hits. So yeah, really great. This is an original mono copy on the RC Orange label. It was only ever put out in mono because it was a television special thing. Excuse me. Very difficult to get hold of, but I managed to find a copy on eBay for a good recent amount of money. So yeah, great record. Great record. Then we get one of the budget albums, Elvis Sings Flaming Star. This one's got a mixed variety on here. Some of the film songs from later years, again, as I say. There's even Yellow Rose of Texas from Viva Las Vegas. And there's Tiger Man, which he recorded during the Comeback Special. This one's on the green RCA International Camden label. And like with the albums, there's some new ones in here that I've not yet shown on the channel, so they'll be making their appearances here for the first time. We'll touch upon them when we get to them. Then we get from Elvis in Memphis. Great album. Again, hot on the heels of the Comeback Special, Elvis sort of finding his way back, and, you know, just finding his way again. Really like Only the Strong Survive, Power of My Love, True Love Travels on a Gravel Road, Any Day Now, and In the Ghetto, which was a big hit single. This one's a stereo on the Orange label, but this is a 1977 pressing because it doesn't have the stereo on the beneath the side numbers. This is a really great one. Elvis in person at the International Hotel and Back in Memphis, or otherwise known as From Memphis to Vegas. Sorry, From Memphis to Vegas, Vegas to Memphis. You kind of turn them over a bit. double album. One half is live recordings of the International Hotel in August 1969, and the other half is the Back in Memphis sequel studio album, because a lot of those were kind of like leftovers from the Memphis album. It has a UK cover, but the records are Canadian. But still, really good to own that. Really great one. Let's Be Friends, 1970. This one's a US pressing on the blue RCA Camden label. But nice to have that one there. Mix of film songs and whatnot, so pretty good. On Stage, February 1970. This is a blue label reissue from like the late 70s, but really good live album. Pretty much everything Elvis does in here is great. Some of the standards of the days, like, you know, Sweet Caroline, which was Neil Diamond, Release Me, Engelbert Humperdinck, Runaway, originally by Del Shannon, The Wonder of You, which was the big hit on here, Yesterday, which was originally the Beatles song, and Let It Be Me, originally by the Everly Brothers, and Proud Mary, originally Creedence Clearwater Revival. But yeah, great album. All the songs there, really good. Recorded in February 1970, so from his second engagement in Vegas. I'm still missing a lot. I'm still missing the That's the Way It Is LP. Still looking for that one. Seen it on eBay a few times, but I haven't really managed to pick it up yet, but definitely will. And we have Elvis Country, I Am 10,000 Years Old. Don't know this album too well, but I know, like, funny how time slips away from being played live, and there's I Really Don't Want to Know, and There Goes My Everything. Make the World Go Away as well. I heard on like the Lost performances, so yeah. But this one is a 1977 reissue in stereo, but it does, however, contain the bonus postcard photo. A picture of 2-year-old Elvis, and a picture of Elvis up to that point, 1970, taken from the That's the Way It Is rehearsal, and like I say, yeah, it's probably a late 70s press because it doesn't have the stereo on the side 1, side 2 on the label. So yeah, really good, that one there. I've heard some good things about that record though. You'll Never Walk Alone. I found this, I got this in a collection years ago. This is a Camden Gospel album. Nice cover though, I really like that picture. Don't know much about this one, but I've kind of heard some mixed things about this record. Love Letters from Elvis, 1971 stereo original. So yeah, I did need to give this one a bit of a listen, but should hopefully be good. Come on everybody, this is a Camden International label. Some of the film songs that are kind of not available on an LP format, so this is a good one to get hold of. Still missing the Almost in Love one, but I will get hold of that one eventually. Stuff from like the Viva Las Vegas, Kid Galahad, Easy Come Easy Go, Follow That Dream, those songs, 1971. And here's another one that's kind of similar, but I Got Lucky. Similar songs and kind of songs from the same kind of films, but came out around about the same time. Elvis Now, 1972. This one is an original pressing. No Hey Jude from the Beatles, but hopefully that should be a good version. And Early Morning Rain was one that he'd done like live quite a few times in later years, so yeah, very good. One of my favourite live albums is Elvis as recorded at Madison Square Garden from 1972. Again, great live album, great live album. This is an original copy. Pretty much the song he does in here, what can you say, great performances. This is the he does some new songs on here that he's added in the set list in between kind of On Stage and this live album. Some songs he's been playing for about a year or 2 years, but still keeping some of the 50s standards in here. And again, original on the orange label. Great cover, that's a great cover with Elvis and the guitar. Great performance as well. Here's a new one. Elvis sings hits from his movies plus 2 recent hits. This is a Camden album. I know there's another volume 2 which I'll hopefully get a hold of at some point. I can't see any at that point any recent. Well, Big Boss Man might have been a recent hit. So was Guitar Man. Yeah, those are the songs on there. On the Camden label. Separate Ways, again another Camden compilation album. Good cover though, do quite like the cover. But this is a really great one. This is Aloha from Hawaii via satellite. Of course, as we all know, this was like the big concert that was shown worldwide. 1973. Brilliant performance. Great performance. And the cover's great as well. I know some fans don't like the cover, but I quite like it. Unfortunately, this copy's missing like the insert with all the songs, so you need kind of read the songs off the records. But again, great songs, especially the version of American Trilogy on here. And he even sings What Now My Love, which does great, and Welcome to My World. So yeah, brilliant live album. One of my favourite live albums of all time, I must say. If you're going to get into Elvis and you're not sure what records to get, definitely get this one. Then we have the full album, or just called Elvis. Great album, I do like this one quite a bit. Really like the title track, Where Do I Go From Here, It's Impossible, I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen, Love Me, Love the Life I Lead. So yeah, great album, really like this one, 1973. This one has a UK cover, but the record is American, so, but still really good to have that one. And here's one that I really like. Elvis commemorative album. This one originally came out in 1973 as a television order album with this cover down there. But then it got re-released after Elvis had passed as a limited edition gold vinyl. This copy is 121,491. So quite a big number there. And it's on the RC Special Products label on gold vinyl. So really nice to have that one. I don't show all the records, but if they're coloured, I'll definitely give them show them all. Yeah, one that I've played quite a bit, and one that I've even copied to computer to sort of keep this as a good collector's item. I hope to get a black vinyl version of this with the original cover, so I can play it and keep this one good. But still, great to have, a great record. Loads of great songs in this compilation. There's loads of great Elvis compilations. It's hard to say what one's what. Then we get the Raised on Rock album. This came out in 1973. Really good album, I really like this one. This is a US pressing, but really good to have. I like the title track, Are You Sincere, I Miss You, For Old Time's Sake, If You Don't Come Back, Three Corn Patches is good. I know some fans don't like that one, but I quite like it. It's a good album, really enjoyed it. Raised on Rock, 1973. And it's also got For Old Time's Sake. It's got kind of like two album title really, you don't know what one it's called. Then we have Elvis, A Legendary Performer Volume 1 from 1974. This one has the book in it as well. I've done a video on these like Legendary Performers series, so if you want to see me talk about them in a bit more detail, you can go back and check those out. But yeah, as I said again, great series. They kind of focus on unreleased alternate takes, you know, some of the hit records, live versions too, so yeah, great series, definitely. Another good one here, Elvis Good Times, another really good album. I like this one quite a lot. I like To Take Good Care of Her, She Wears My Ring, Spanish Eyes, My Boy, I've Got a Thing About You Baby. Really good album. I think I might like this one a bit more over Raised on Rock, but still a really good album. 1974. Another live album came out. Elvis recorded live on stage in Memphis. It's a good live album, but I think I would prefer like the Madison Square Garden and the Aloha to over this, but still not bad. He does a medley of songs on here, and this one's kind of significant because this is where the Grammy-winning performance of How Great Thou Art came from, so quite a significant one for that. And also it was recorded in Elvis's hometown in Memphis at the Mid-South Coliseum in March 1974. But I know some fans don't really like this one as much because of the way it was mixed, mastered, and plus the fact it was edited. It wasn't the complete show, but you can now get the complete show as part of the Legacy Edition in 2014. So if you want to get this album on CD, that's definitely a good one to go for, because of the full set and the way it was recorded. So yeah, great one. I also like his version of the Olivia Newton-John song Let Me Be There on that album. Then we get Promised Land, another great album. This one is a Blue Label reissue, but still a really good one here. 1975, I like the title track, Help Me, Mr. Songman, It's Midnight, If You Talk in Your Sleep. Great album, probably one of my favourite kind of the later Elvis years. Elvis Presley, Easy Come, Easy Go. Camden album, compilation album, film songs and whatnot, so maybe nothing special, but still. It says record pressed in France, sleeve printed in UK. It's got the same cover as the Come On Everybody LP, I think. Yeah. Then we have Elvis Today, another really good album. Really enjoyed this one. This is an original copy on the orange label, so really good. I really like Trouble and I Love You So. Susan When She Tried, Pieces of My Life, Fairy Tale, I Can Help, and Green Green Grass of Home. So yeah, really good album. I really do like this one quite a lot. Then we've got some compilations to show. The US Mail. This is a Camden budget album, but I found it at a charity shop for 50p and it was in really good condition, so I thought, yeah, might as well get it, so I did. It's got a nice cover though. I think it's a picture from the Aloha show. Of course, pretty much everyone has this in their collection if you're an Elvis fan or not. 40 Greatest. Double LP, loads of great songs on here, pretty much all the hits. This one's on the arcade label. And this is the first Elvis record I had. I got this from my grandparents' collection. This is one they gave me when I was getting into records. This is one they gave me. And yeah, great songs on here. Even some unusual ones appear in here, like My Baby Left Me. That's an unusual one. And got a lot of Living To Do's on here as well. Old Chet makes an appearance on here. I Need Your Love Tonight's a great B-side though. It's good that that's on here. Wild in the Country's great as well. There's Always Me. So yeah, some really great tracks on here, I must say. Definitely one that you would get if you're an Elvis fan. And I have another one of that. But this one's the special pink vinyl version, which I'll show here. This kind of came out kind of after Elvis had passed. And it is on pink vinyl, as I say, which I'll show here. RCA. Standard. So yeah, that's a great record. Great one to own. The Sun collection, of course, all the Sun material. Good collection of songs here. Really like the Sun recordings. They're kind of like before he kind of made it big from like 54 to 55, and they kind of sound like rockabilly, but they're almost kind of like a precursor of what was to come for Elvis in like the later years. So yeah, great record. Really good record. Elvis in the Movies. This is a Reader's Digest compilation. Don't have much to say, it's just film songs, but some good ones on here nonetheless. Then we have a budget reissue of Elvis's Christmas album. This is a new one I haven't yet shown. Oh, my phone's just gone off there. But it adds a couple of, it's kind of like similar to the original Christmas album, but it's got some tracks. The gospel EP is not on here, and there's some added tracks on here. So yeah. I'm going to show this in my next sort of vinyl update. Legendary Performer Volume 2, 1976. Similar to Volume 1, unreleased material. Some unreleased material, but done a video on the Legendary Performer series, so if you want to see me go over that in more detail, do check back the video. And here's a French K-Tel album, just called Elvis. 40 plus Grand Success. Some unusual tracks appear on here again, which is really cool to see. Oh, just put myself in the eye there. That's the gatefold, really cool gatefold picture. It's on this label. Found this in a record shop in Bedford and I'd never seen it before, so I thought I'd pick it up. From Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, really great album. I know some fans kind of don't like this album as much, but I like it a lot. Really liked Hurt, Never Again, Last Farewell, Better They Are, Harder They Fall, Solitaire, Love Coming Down. Really great album, one of my favourites. This one is, I think, a second issue because it doesn't have the recorded live under the album title under Tennessee, and it doesn't have the stereo on the label. But also, Better They Are, Harder They Fall was misspelt as Bigger They Are, Harder They Fall. So this is I think a second issue, not a first issue. It might be a second later issue, with the recorded live missing and the Better They Are, Harder They Fall correctly spelt. So yeah, really great album. I really do enjoy this record. Haven't heard it for a while, but I still do enjoy it when I hear it. And here's another new one, the Elvis Presley Collection. This is a double LP on the Camden label. Then we have Welcome to My World. This was like thrown together by RCA, compilation like 1977 and early 1977 before Elvis's passing in August. It It has a mix of previously released material, but there's one that wasn't released, which was the I Can't Stop Loving You from the afternoon Madison Square Garden show that was later released on An Afternoon in the Garden. And there's also an unreleased take of Your Cheating Heart in here, I think. Yeah, really good. Pretty good. Haven't heard it, but it's just for the collection. It's got a nice cover though. Then we get Moody Blue, 1977, and again I really like this album. I really enjoy this album. It's probably one of my favourite Elvis albums, I would say. This would be the last studio album he released in his lifetime, but really great album. 3 live tracks and kind of few studio tracks. Kind of a combination of the two. Some of the later albums, I think, Fool It is one I can think of where a live track was put in a studio album, but this one they have a few. Great album. I like Unchained Melody, If You Love Me Let Me Know, He'll Have to Go, Wait, Let Me Be There, Way Down, Pledging My Love, Moody Blue. Pretty much the whole album I like. It's kind of a mix of songs that Elvis recorded at Graceland and mix of live tracks that he performed on tour, because they couldn't get Elvis in the studio for whatever reason or another. But still a really great album. One of my favourite albums. This is the standard UK black vinyl version. You can actually get this on blue vinyl, which I really hope to get hold of at some point. But yeah, but that was for the American pressings only. We never really got the blue vinyl version. But hey ho. Great album, one of my favourites, Moody Blue, 1977. So that was kind of, Elvis of course passed away on August 16th, so we're going to go over the posthumous material. So I'll show, I've got a good few, and I'll see how far I go before I decide to do a part 3 or whether I don't do a part 3. First one up is Elvis in Concert. This was kind of 1977, first posthumous release. Recordings from like the last tour in June of 1977 from Omaha, Nebraska and Rapid City, South Dakota, which CBS filmed those 2 concerts for a TV special of the same name. Double LP. First half is like the television special, and the other half is like other material that was recorded on that tour in June of 77. I know a lot of fans have their views on Elvis in Concert and whether it should come out as a DVD or not, but you know, Elvis does still manage to do some good performances on these 2 shows, even if he's struggling and kind of not in good physical health. He still manages to give a good performances, I think. So get full sleeves there, and the views like pictures from like, that's a picture I think from 75, and that's a picture from 72, 74, like the blue jumpsuit. I know these 2 are kind of like, I'm not sure when these 2 were taken, but that one there. Here's a new one I don't think I've shown yet, but He Walks Beside Me. Favourite songs of faith and inspiration. So this is like a gospel compilation, 1978 US pressing. But it does have a couple of unreleased songs in here, like the Impossible Dream, a live version, and an unreleased version of If I Can Dream as well. So quite cool they include that. The 56 Sessions Volume 1, a compilation of all the 56 songs. Really great record, really good representation of the 56 material. And I do have Volume 2, which I'll show in a minute. It's a great one on the blue label. Another new one, the Elvis Presley Collection Volume 2 on Camden. It's got a nice cover. Elvis, a Canadian tribute. This has songs from like 57, but Elvis singing Canadian artists. This is quite a significant album. Canada was like the only country Elvis Presley played in outside the United States, which is hard to believe. He had 3 dates in Canada in 1957. So this is like an album of all the Canadian songs and all the songs that he had in 57. Even a Vancouver press conference as well. And this is an American pressing, I believe, but it is on gold vinyl, which is very cool. I have a lot of Elvis coloured vinyls, quite a bit of Elvis coloured vinyl. Mostly gold, one pink, and another one I'm going to show later on. We have a Legendary Performer Volume 3. This is the picture disc version, 1978. Again, much like the other volumes, great series. I've gone over these in a separate video, as I say, so if you want to see me go over them in more detail, you can check out the Elvis the Legendary Performer vinyl videos. Please Don't Stop Loving Me. This is another new one. Again, selection of various kind of film songs. Our Memories of Elvis. This is a 1979 album. This one has like the undubbed versions of some of these songs, which a lot of Elvis's 1970s albums were kind of heavily overdubbed by Felton Jarvis, who was his producer. And I know a lot of fans are very critical about the overdubs, but I actually quite like them, some of the overdubs. And I even don't mind some of the undubbed versions as well. This is the first volume, because they did do another volume, and I'll show that in a minute, like I say. Yeah, really good selection of songs here. That's a picture there of Elvis's dad, Vernon, and his manager, Colonel Parker. And of course, 56 Sessions Volume 2, a continuation of where Volume 1 kind of left off. Great, great album. And I really like that cover as well. Great picture of Elvis in the front there. Our Memories of Elvis Volume 2, much like the same. I think this is a new one as well, but this is a German import. I'll show this one when I talk about it in my vinyl update if I've not already shown it. Elvis Love Songs. This is a great one on the K-Tel album. Just kind of generic ballad songs, love songs, but just great songs nonetheless. Easy Come Easy Go and Kid Galahad. I know you can get this for like some of the other non-soundtrack album ones. Hopefully we'll get the other two at some point as well. Don't know if I've shown this one on the channel yet, but this is a recent one. This is a German import. Might have done, I think. Here's Elvis Presley twin pack, double LP of just various tracks thrown together. 1979. This one. Some pretty interesting choices on here, though. I'll let you see the track listing. You can have a pause and look. Some very interesting choices on here. Never seen that one before, so I bought it in my local record shop about a year ago. Elvis Presley sings Lieber and Stroller. Of course, Lieber and Stroller were Jerry Lieber and Mike Stroller, who wrote the songs like Hound Dog, Jailhouse Rock, Loving You, Love Me, Trouble, Don't, King Creole, those sort of songs. Those are all the songs on the back. This came out in 1918. It's on the green label. Another K-Tel one, Elvis Presley Inspirations. Gospel songs in here, but you know, good to own nonetheless. Came out in 1980. Elvis at his best. This is a double album. Again, much like the Twin Pack one, various tracks are kind of thrown together for this album. There's some really good choices on here nonetheless. I'll sort of let you all pause and have a look. That's on the RCA black label, a black label of RCA. Rockin' Elvis, the 60s, and you can also get, it says, buy Rockin' Elvis and get Romantic Elvis for free. Don't have that one yet, but I'm still on the lookout for that one. Again, I don't think I've shown this one yet, but here, it's a really good selection of tracks, I must say. Elvis, It Won't Seem Like Christmas Without You. Some alternate Christmas performance versions, unreleased versions, and so really good one there. Found that for like £5 one year, last year, and even though it was like July last year when I bought it, I thought, yeah, I'll get it. Here's another picture disc with Jailhouse Rock on one side and the Love and Viva Las Vegas soundtrack on the other. How are we doing for time? We're doing pretty good. I'll probably do a few more and then cut for part 3. Elvis and Legendary Performer Volume 4. This is not the first issue, but like the die cut in the book. Still hope to find that one, but still really good one though. Again, as I say with the Legendary Performer series, if you want to see me go over them in a bit more detail, check back the video. I Can Help, a compilation of various 70s songs. It's a nice picture in the back. This came out in 1984. For like the Elvis 50th anniversary. So like RC did a sort of big thing on that. First live recordings, 1984. Again, recordings from like the first few years, from like 54 to 56 on the like Louisiana Hayride. So yeah, good to have for like historical purposes, but I'm not sure what the recording quality will be like. I know it might vary in some places, but still, it'll still be interesting to have for like historical purposes. Excuse me. Last one I have to show before we'll do part 3 is Elvis Ballads. Telstar compilation in 1985. Pretty good selection of songs, I must say. But the research in this record, I tell you, is just, I don't know. Like, they'll say in the ghettos from like the album and cassette 20 Greatest Hits Volume 2. It was actually from Elvis in Memphis. Don'ts from like 20 Greatest Hits Volume 1, but that's like a standalone single. It should be Elvis's Gold Records Volume 2. One reviews for like the On Stage album. Blue Hawaii is released in 1978. My Way is like 1977, the Aloha, but that was 1973. So the research in this one is like, I don't know. But still a nice compilation of the ballad type songs. Even though we've got loads, these are still really good. 1985 on the Telstar label. Okay, so that's been going over 30 minutes. So what I'll probably do is I've still got a bit to go, but I'm going to show you them all in part 3. So we're going to do part 3 in just a moment. So we'll see you then.